Hello, good morning. Welcome back to the garden named Bill. It is the 28th week of 30, and we didn't exactly crest below 32 degrees last night, but we came pretty close. I think it was 33, maybe 34. It was cold enough that some of the rain turned to snow, light snowflakes for a little while, and you can kind of see the results of that on the zucchini leaves and a few other things. So it wasn't a deep frost, but it was just close. Now, the week ahead looks like it's going to be in the upper 40s and then crest back into the 50s, so we're not going to go straight into winter from this. This is just the first taste. But it's always interesting to see how one of those cold snaps affects the garden, you know, in whatever state it's in. Overview. Well, I've been filling those raised beds in slowly when I'm cutting down any sort of vines and other greenery. It's looking nice. I really do just need to go through with everything that's hanging on the arched trellis and harvest a few tiny dwarf watermelons and cantaloupes and get rid of the rest of the vines, because I've harvested all the butternut squash and coconut squash and the like. So that can just be taken care of. Same goes for the beans, and I don't think we're going to have many morning glories left, so I'm not worried about ripping those out. I'll just kind of snip them at the base. And as for raspberries, there's barely any on, but the few that were mature with this quote-unquote frost last night, if I pick them now, they'll taste extra sweet. The freezing temperatures crystallizes the sugar structure, and it's really good. So this week, really, as I alluded to, all I want to do is start getting rid of all of this. You can see, oh man, some of these are so sharp. A lot of the leaves are looking like this. They're browning around the edges as if there was water on there and then it froze and then it just killed it, you know. That's what happens this time of year, so this is essentially done. Doesn't pay to have it on there. Time to get rid of it. Additionally, let me change the camera angle. Additionally, as you can see here, leaves are falling, and with that I can blow a bunch this way. Probably take the lawnmower over, crumple them up, and then put that crumpled up leaf mulch on a few of these beds, in particular the strawberry and asparagus, this empty bed up front, and I'll wait another week or two until I finally pull out the tomatoes and peppers and the good looking zucchini plant, and then I'll mulch that as well. So all that's really left to highlight is back here. Whoops. Oh, if I sit down, I'm gonna get a wet butt. So, still getting tomatoes. They look really good. Last week I made some, was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. I made some tomato soup with grilled cheeses, all from tomatoes in the garden. They're excellent. If they're even a little bit orange or red, whatever your coloring is, they'll ripen in the window because they ripen from the inside out. And I've got a couple zucchini like this, which are perfect. So I'm gonna, you know, cut these up and make something delicious. I didn't grow massive zucchinis this year just because of, you know, factors. If you've watched this whole season, you understand. But, so I'm not going to chop this up and freeze it, but I'll use it for some fresh bacon. Baking, not bacon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Down here in the strawberry asparagus bed, I had a few last-minute donations. I had 4 midsummer runners who had established themselves as juvenile mothers. Like this one down here, pretty nice. It came with like a chunk of root in soil like this underneath. I thought, there's my dog. I thought it might be too late to transplant, but because they came already roots completely in soil, I just dug a nice hole and put it in here, and I think they should be fine, especially with those quote-unquote warm days that are coming up in the 50s. I think there should be enough time to establish and they're not going to die over the frost. But I'm really pleased at how well this filled in this year. If you take a look back in the really beginning when I was just filling in with the asparagus and then adding some strawberries to it, and just watching the ferns grow, I think those asparagus crowns are doing really, really well under here. So this was a great first year for the bed. I'm quite pleased. Moose is happy too. Oh geez, Moose. Come on in, puppy. Ah, dogs, gotta love them. So I think that is pretty much it. I may or may not come to you next week for a week 29 because it's gonna essentially be the same as this, except there'll be less stuff in the garden. Yeah, Moose is just eating raspberry leaves. I love my dog. Do you ever let your pets in your garden? Dogs, cats, whatever else? Probably not bunnies, who knows? How are things going with you? I've been pretty good. Been baking a lot of stuff. Hey, this whole year I kept a journal of, I weighed everything that I picked from the garden. And after I do the final harvests here in another 2 weeks or so, I'll do like an end of season whole year recap. And I think I'll put some information in there. It might be a separate video on exactly how much I grew by weight. And I think I'm going to take those values and to do some, just a Google search in my area for what that produce would cost on average. It's like a pint of raspberries is $3.99 or something like that, and do some multiplication and see what the value of the garden for my family in terms of dollars saved at the grocery store was. Just excited to find out, and then have a baseline to do this again in years in the future and keep validating this wonderful hobby as a benefit for the family. Yep, I think it's snowing, so I'm gonna go inside. If you still have any gardening left to do, happy gardening. Bye guys.